Hello everyone, it's your boy Gold Aircap back with another video, and today we are going to be going over me and Nemesis's beef. As seen in the MDA video, the MDA video will be linked in the description of this video, so go and watch that after you've watched this. Um, but I'm going to give my side of the story a little bit more on where people might be confused, and if you guys have got any questions, I will answer them in the comments, so just leave them in the comments there. But we're going to start from the beginning, where it all began. So, me and Nemesis worked together on a map. Well, sorry, I had a bar called the Swan Restaurant, which, if anyone who's watching this video knows the Mafia community, you probably have heard of the Swan. Um, but I decided to partner up with Nemesis to promote. Now, he came in, did it once or twice, and we were meant to work on it and upgrade it, but he was never free or anything like that. He kept opening up other projects, like the Vahal Zones, the Gavanos, and stuff like that. Then Nemesis, everything was fine for a while, and I retired for a little bit because I was getting too stressed and I had things going on in real life. And then I came back. Me and Nemesis, in the video, he was correct. We stopped talking for a little bit. We just drifted apart a little bit. Then his headset basically died on him, but he had also got banned, which I had mentioned in the video. He'd also had been banned. Um, Now during that time, I had no beef with Nemesis. I had no personal vendetta against Nemesis. In fact, he was probably one of my best business partners. Um, then I said to two of his members, well, one of his members originally, sorry, one of his members, I said to him, because he was a close friend of mine and now is a very, very close friend of mine. I asked him if, while there's nothing going on in Nemesis and Code, does he want to come and work with the Celios for a little bit until Nemesis comes back? He agreed, so he started working for me for a little bit, and then he decided he wanted to leave Nemesis and Co. and join the Celios in full time, which I agreed with. I was like, that's fine, but as long as you're fine with it. He was fine with it, so we did it. Then his other friend joined, known as Turkey. Turkey had joined my family and left Nemesis and Co. Um, on his own militia. And basically, this is where things start to go bad, because when Diaz first joined the Celios fully and left Nemesis and Co., I got a message off Nemesis, Diaz got a first of Nemesis going off at him. Um, and I wanted to know, because what he had done is he had called me out. He had called me out for no reason, and bear in mind, I had done nothing to him. I didn't know what was over. I didn't know if it was over the Diaz thing or something else, but he had called me out. He had said my name in a bad light, and I asked him why. Right? And obviously, out of respect, I wanted to know why, because I told him everything that had been said about him. He refused to tell me, which I understand he might have had personal things going on at the time, which I'm not going to get into because that's his personal life. I'm not going to tell anyone's personal life, even if I've got a problem with them. So if you're going to ask questions about that in the comments, do not. I'm not going to get. You're not going to get an answer. But going on, he basically kept telling me to leave him alone. I wanted to know why he called me out. I wanted to know the reason why he was putting dirt on me. Then it all came to light that it was over Diaz leaving. So I said, right, this is what we'll do. Me and him hopped in a Discord call. We settled the beef. We said, we're chill now. We're not going to work together, but we're chill now. We're just going to chill out and do our own thing. I was like, all right, that's the end of it. I went on about my day, kept doing my things with my Mafia, kept doing things like that. Then Nemesis comes back. When he comes back, it is during my wedding time with my now wife, which I said in the video, in the MDA video. He comes into the wedding, and the first thing that happened, no one said anything. In fact, someone tried, Turkey was going to crash him because he was there. And Diaz said no, and then I agreed with Diaz. No, he hasn't done anything, so we're not going to crash him. right? So he joined and he sat down, sat with his friends. Then out of nowhere, he messages Diaz and says, Dark's getting a bit cocky, don't you think? Right? Now, he goes over that in the video, so if you want to hear the rest of the conversation that happens between him and Nemesis, because that's all I know about the conversation between him and Nemesis, it's in the MDA video. Nemesis states what was said. Now, after that, he had left, and then I got told that he'd been sending these messages. So I got pretty angry because, to me, that's disrespecting not only me, but my wife now. That was disrespecting us. He could have talked to me personally. And this was after he had deleted the Swan, and I had tried to contact him, which the proof will be on the screen right now. I tried to contact him. He did not reply. So I got angry for other personal reasons. Like, I was just moving in with my dad. It's not an excuse, but I was moving in with my dad, and I was stressed because my dad's not very well. But I had other things going on in real life, and it just fueled the anger even more. And he joined back, and I, out of anger, went to confront him. And you can see that in the beginning of the MDA video, that I was very angry with Nemesis, and it's not an excuse, but I had real things going on in the real world. But I got angry, said some things I shouldn't have said, and I fully admit and I take full responsibility for what I said to him. But he also was the aggravator in that situation. He came to me looking for a problem. He even stated that, and I fully well know, because he was on Oculus, I fully well know he was recording without his mic audio. His mic audio wasn't glitched. But he fully stated, and there's other people who were there who were witnesses to it, he said, and I quote, because I said to him, did you come here just to start a problem? And he said, yes, I did. Now there's multiple other people who were there who can verify that. And in terms to what happened after, he got kicked from the room. Then out of anger, I decided to place a 250,000 bounty on him, which he is going around saying that I cannot afford. What he seems to not realize is that you can buy tokens. It's not just room earnings. And obviously, I get stuff off other people, right? Like, if I'm doing buildings for them, they pay me. I can well afford the bounty. And in fact, the bounty has been moved up to 500,000, which I know I can afford. I'm not going to move it up anymore because I know I can afford that much, and that's how much I can afford. Right? That's what he seems to forget. Now, in the terms of him saying that I stole 4 or 5 of his members, that is false. I did not steal any members. 2 members joined me willingly. The others left on their own accord and did not join me at all. In fact, I know 2 of them who were working for him who retired from the Mafia community completely. And basically, the full circle, it's a petty beef, but me being me, I'm not going to back down. I'm not gonna back down just because he thinks he can scare me or threaten me into hiding. He does not scare me, and in the MDA video at the end, you might hear that the Celios are basically retired, but not retired. I am still the godfather of that family. Someone else is the acting boss. Well, actually, not acting, is the boss. I just have an overview and help them out when I can, while also running the high table. Now, in the terms of Nemesis and Co being there, I don't know about that. I do not keep tabs on Nemesis and Co because it's not that important to me. It doesn't really bother me what happens to Nemesis and Co. But in my personal opinion, I'm going to let these two speak in just a second here to ask their questions. But in my personal opinion, Nemesis doesn't belong in this community. He is not a Don. He has never been a Don. He has never run a family. He has never done anything like that. He is just a company that hires people to hire other people. Therefore, he does not have a place in our community. So, without further ado, we'll start with General Hunk. General Hunk, do you have any questions?
I think I might have one or two, but may I give my opinion on how I kind of feel about this situation?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Well, I've known Nemesis for a very long time. I knew him ever since when I was running the high table personally. He was he was quite a close ally, and I won't lie. Back in my day, I did have quite a strong bond. I had a strong bond with him. Me and him were quite close business allies. I was always keeping tabs on his businesses and keep giving a hand with his businesses. But I'm not really personally too aware of what he does now with Nemesis & Co. But yeah, this is I think the way I feel about this is probably the biggest bounty we've ever had in the community's history. 500, as you just said, it being bumped up to 500,000. That's $500,000. That's quite. How would I put it? It's a new stage for the community. We never. This might just show that we might be entering a new economic level because, as you may know, the Mafia community does, as many people might not believe it, it does have quite a hold on the economic kind of forecast in the Rec Room community, because even back in the day, old Dons used to always be making millions of tokens. I know some people. I know a fellow who has made billions of tokens off the Mafia community back in 2020, 2021. But it's like, I definitely believe you can pay this because I've known you for a very long time. But I think my most important question is, do you feel this might have an effect on the public's view on you or the high table?
Well, yes and no. And let me explain why.
Of course.
So, yes, they are going to realize, yes, he placed a massive bounty on someone who is not well known, and yes, it might put me in a bad view in some people's eyes, right? But it also shows that the high table and the Celios do not take problems like this lightly, and do not take offenses like this lightly. So it shows that we do mean business, and everything we do say about us, we will protect ourselves no matter what, which I've said from the beginning, is true. Now, if people don't like hearing the truth and think I'm still a bad guy because I was telling them the truth, that I will defend my family and the high table no matter the cost, then that is their own personal opinion. They're entitled to it. Regarding what you said about Nemesis, right? How do you feel about his statement in the video of him saying anyone who believes Dark can afford this is basically, in simple terms, are idiots?
I don't know how exactly I would feel on that. I think I would disagree with him. I definitely say I would disagree with him because, well, I don't know. I have not seen sufficient evidence for him to say you can't pay this bounty. I have not seen sufficient enough evidence. No, it's fine.
Yeah, the only evidence he has is the Swan's room earnings, but you know, General Hung, from personal experience in the community, room earnings is not the only way you make money in this community, right? You make money from other sources and other places and other people, right? So him claiming that I only made 5,000 off the Swan,
including your
like,
own real life.
So what? Exactly, I make my own real life money, and he seems to forget that you can buy tokens. You can buy tokens, and I'm not afraid to buy tokens to get rid of him if I have to. Right? If I have to, I will spend £1,000, £6,000, £10,000. Yeah, it'll take me a while to save it up, but yeah, I'd pay it. Right? And I'd work my ass off for it. Right? Because at the end of the day, I come from a place in my real life where respect and loyalty is very, very prominent. You need to be respectful to others, and you need to be loyal to others, even if you are not with them. Right? Now, what he did was not only disrespectful, but it was also unloyal. Unloyal to the code and unloyal to the general consensus of people being respectful to each other, right? And basic human morals. So, before we continue, Hong, do you have any other questions?
I wouldn't say I have any questions. It's more, I think I more have a lot of views on this situation, but I think that'd be more appropriate for another video because we need to get
No,
along with this. But
you can state them. You can state your opinions.
well, I just feel it's very like this is probably one of the more bigger things that have happened in 2024 as 2023, the last third of 2023, from around the times of August to November, were some of the most prominent times for the community's history. So to see this be one of the biggest events is quite interesting, as unfortunately after around October to November 2023, the community kind of divided and minimalized in a lot of aspects, I would put it. You know?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, as both of us have been in this community for a while. I understand where you're coming from, and I respect your opinion on that. Turka, have you got any questions or opinions you'd like to state about this?
Yeah. I'm wondering, do you think if the situation escalates really highly, do you think anyone from the Rec Room team could get involved?
If they do, I do not blame them. Me personally, I won't personally take it that far. But if they do get involved, they're just doing their jobs. I have nothing against them. They'll just be doing their jobs. That's what they're hired to do. I respect Rec Room's staff team because they're a good staff team, and I respect Rec Room as a company because their company does help a lot of, especially antisocial people, actually get social.
Yep.
Is there any other questions or opinions by any of you two?
Personally, no, but Toker might.
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Alright, and just before I end this video off, I want to send a personal message to Nemesis, right? Because I want him, if he sees this video, I want him to know. Both of us, Nemesis, have been in this community for a long time, right? And yes, I'm not going to lie, you do have an ego, and I used to have an ego. Yes, I did, and I'll admit that. I used to have an ego. But since I took my break and I looked back on myself, I reflected and I realized I wasn't me anymore. So what I recommend to you, Nemesis, is you contact me, right? Or I'll contact you, either one, and I will ask you to reply, right? To resolve this in an orderly manner before this gets out of hand. Now, if you wish to take it further, I will take it further with you, because I will not back down. I have stated that prominently before, and I will continue to say that I will not back down. And like I said in the interview, if you don't want to get burned, don't play with fire. Right? Because I've got nothing to lose, Nemesis, where you've got everything to lose. Now, and in terms of what General Hunt was saying about the high table and everything like that, I want to tell my high table members something. Well, not mine, but our high table members something. I want to tell them that, yes, there's a lot of things going on in the community. And yes, there's a lot of things that might be bad that you might see from my part and other people's parts who are involved. So, I have been thinking, and I've done a lot of thinking over these last few days. And what I have decided to do is I am going to basically get rid of most of the roles in the Discord and in the high table itself and only keep moderator roles. There is going to be no singular power. There will be no council. Right? The only thing that will be there is stuff for the community. And the name will be getting changed eventually. Instead of the high table, there's a few other names that have been suggested from other people that I'm considering changing it to. The votes will be in the community polls section. Now, I can promise you guys one thing. If I say I fail and Nemesis does beat me, I just want to say it has been a pleasure working for you all. Right? Not with you all, for you all. Because that's what I pride myself on. I want to help you guys. Now, if you do believe that Nemesis is in the right, that's your opinion. You're fully entitled. And hell, if you want to ask me questions about it, hit me up. You've obviously got my Discord. Hit me up and we can talk about it. And in terms of the Celio family, the family that I started and the family that I'm so proud to be looking over now as the Godfather, I want to thank you all for all the times of peril and all the times of pain that I have went through. You guys were always there. You guys had my back and you defended not only my legacy, but the Celio name. Right? And I want to thank you all for that. And through all the good times and the bad times, I enjoyed and it has been a pleasure serving you all. Right? Yes, I'm going to be a lot less active in the community, but that is because I'm moving on to bigger and better things, such as this YouTube channel and creating. I'm going back to doing what I love. And I encourage anyone who's watching this to do what you love and follow your dreams and follow your passion, because it makes you a happier person and it makes you connect with yourself on a different level. So if anyone hasn't got any more questions, Tuka, do you have any questions? Alright, and before we end this video off, I just want to ask, does anyone else have any more questions?
I do have one that I now remembered while you were speaking. In the MDA video, right? Nemesis stated, "Whatever he does, I will win." How do you feel about that?
Personally, my personal opinion, I think that's Nemesis' ego talking. Now, when I was working with Nemesis, he tended to think of himself as a higher power above everyone else. He made false claims of being the richest in Rec Room. Well, at least in the Mafia community, may I correct myself. And he also stated a lot of things like he's done this, he's done that, he's defeated these people, and he's defeated them people, which he never showed any evidence to prove. Now, the only person from Nemesis Acquire I'd actually ever seen do anything of meaning was Don Diaz, as he was formerly known as Don DeCelio, as he is the new Don. He was the only one I saw do anything meaningful in Nemesis Core. Him and Turkey especially, because Turkey worked hard and so did Diaz. And I love them guys. They're my best friends. I love hanging out with them guys. I love joking around with them guys. I love having a blast with them. And if them are watching, I want you guys to know that I hope we can continue to be friends, and I hope our friendship lasts a lifetime. Has anyone else got any more questions?
Nope.
And before you answer that, it doesn't matter even if it's against me. Doesn't matter if it's controversial. You're more than welcome to ask it.
I personally don't have any more questions.
I guess I have something to say.
All right.
It's something to do with Nemesis said, saying, "I'll always win."
Mm-hmm.
It's a message I have to this entire community. Remember, everyone, at the end of the day, nobody wins. Someone is always going to lose. I learned that the very hard way. But remember, even if you lose, you may not win, but you might just gain something.
I actually have something to add on to that, if you guys don't mind. Just before we close this off here. What General Hung just said there, it is very true. No one wins in war. No one. There's losses on both sides, and them losses, well, to me personally, I don't know about Nemesis, because I do not speak to Nemesis no more. But To me, them losses are some of the greatest pain I'll feel, because I'm not losing just workers. I'm not losing workers. That's not how I see them in my eyes. I see them as family, my best friends, and it hurts me deeply to see anything happen to them. That's why I defend them so much. But without further ado, unless anyone's got any more questions, I think that could be the end of this video, and I want to thank everyone for sticking around and watching to the end. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell just to be notified every time we do another upload. And for anyone else watching who is not in Rec Room or anything like this, please check out Mafia Drama Alert. The link will be in the description. That'll give you a bit more in depth on what the Mafia community is and how it works. But in terms of that, stay safe, have a great day, peace.